The shapes that you use for your logo designs can have a profound effect on the viewer from a psychological and a subconscious standpoint. And in today's video, learn all about how the various different shapes in logo design have various different psychological relevancy, and how to utilize that relevancy to target an audience. As designers, it's important to have a website to show off our portfolio of work. Bookmark offers the most straightforward and quickest way to generate an awesome website without even having to write down a single line of code, and all completed in a matter of minutes. Check out the link in the description below to learn more about Bookmark and design your website today. Welcome back to Satori Graphics. We're continuing this series of psychology in graphic design, and today we're diving into the wonderful world of logo design, something I personally have a fond passion for. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to give a quick tip on how to use psychology to target the right audience and end up with awesome and relevant logo designs. Firstly, let's take a look at circular shapes. Now, these tend to generate a positive response within the emotional centers of the brain when a viewer is looking at a design. When people see a circular shape within a logo design, they subconsciously relate it to a community, friendship, or even love. The Olympics logo is a prime example of this, as it's the coming together of different groups of people in one unity. And no, I don't mean this logo design here. It's probably best not to talk about this one. That isn't to say that every single logo that uses a circle is trying to evoke a sense of love or unity. Circles also show perfection and also are quite attention seeking in nature. Moving into a slight variation of the circle, we have the oval shape, which can suggest sturdiness, endurance and stability, which is why a lot of car companies like Ford and Kia actually have their logos enveloped with the shape of an oval. You will notice that many car companies utilize this shape, and that's one reason why, because it is sturdy and it is stable. There was a study back in 2015 that cited 50 top brands of the time and also their logo designs, of which 20% utilize a circle as the main focus of their logo design. So if you want to evoke a sense of togetherness, unity, love, or maybe perfection, you can experiment with circles, as subconsciously this is going to work for specific types of audiences. The use of squares and rectangles in logo design creates the perception of power and strength. Now take a look at the Adidas logo. You can see connotations of power and strength are so fitting when thinking of a sports brand, because the consumer can buy into the notion that they're achieving such states within their performance and their bodies, and doing this by simply adhering to the brand as a consumer. Shapes and straight edge lines found in squares, rectangles and triangles suggest professionalism, efficiency and stability, all appealing to the left part of the brain of an audience. They create a balance of practicality, and combined with colours like red or blue, they can evoke a perception of dynamic modernism. Now, financial logos such as banks and real estate agencies all utilise this to a huge extent. Just take a look at Barclays and Chase, which really does define stability and practicality for the logo design. Vertical lines impact the mind by creating a subconscious association with strength, masculinity and also energy. The SoundCloud logo uses vertical lines, and yes, they do represent audio soundbars. However, matched with the colour orange, which is a very energetic and positive colour psychologically speaking, the overall feel of the logo design is very high energy orientated. If the lines were horizontal, the logo would give off a very different emotional response to the audience. But yeah, horizontal lines tend to create a sense of calmness and zen tranquility. They project a natural sense of balance that can be used to influence audiences when used in logo design. Horizontal lines can help make your customers feel protected and settled, and a great example of this is the IBM logo that, matched with blue, does connote a very strong sense of calmness and tranquility. Angled lines represent a feeling of energy and dynamic movement. And so again, I draw your attention back to the Adidas logo because the lines here are kind of on a slant, which gives the impression of motion and speed, something very strongly linked to sports and athletics, as you obviously see movement in various different forms. So as you can see, these small psychological tricks are there out in the open to be seen, and they do resonate with most of the audiences if they realise it or not. So lastly, curved lines have a more feminine reaction, suggesting happiness, generosity, and a sense of the rhythm. They're more free-flowing and they evoke pleasure, and if used together with some angular lines, they can represent an innovation such as the Nike logo and the swoosh. So that's all well and good, but how do I and how can you use this information in your very own logo designs? Now, before designing a logo for your client, write down a list of words and feelings that the logo should convey. This is why I so heavily push the research phase of a logo design, as it's really essential. You need to know the client inside out as well as their audience. But once you do have a list of feelings and words associated with the brand message, you would be able to look at how to match this up with not only the logo shapes, but also the colours and the typefaces too. It is a process, and the logo design should be super relevant to the brand and the audience to maximise its effectiveness. The shapes used, if any at all, are a key factor in this process. So there is psychology on shapes in logo designs. I hope you better understand it and go ahead and make some relevant logo designs in your workflow. Subscribe to my channel for weekly graphic design content, and of course like and share my videos on social media if you want to help out Satori Graphics. And until next time, design your future today. Peace.